So, good day all. My name is Ulf Bang, and I would like to demonstrate how the VDI 6022 is implemented into SystemairCAD. So let's start by creating a unit. You can right away see that we have several settings here for hygienic and VDI 6022. And if we click the VDI 6022, we can see that the templates, they change over here. This is because we created more than one option to actually create the final result. You can both select VDI 622 now, or you can select it later in the process. So it is possible to add the requirement to a already existing unit, or you can remove the requirement as well. But let's have a look at that later. But if I click VDI 6022, it adds these empty sections that is required also in the template, and we can see that happens for both rotary heat exchanger, plate heat exchanger, runaround coils, supply units, and mixing units. But let's go back to rotary heat exchanger, standard, heating and cooling, size 14, like that. Immediately you will see that we have a new button over here, VDI 6022 compliance test. The idea is that you can create all the different combinations you would like, and the system is not using any resources to check if it's according to the hygiene standard. And then you can check this compliance test as the last step, and then it will help you to make sure that all requirements are met by the configuration. So if I hit it now, it will say unit is according to VDI 6022 because we selected a template that should be according to. But if we insert, let's say for example, a preheater, like that, and we hit the bottom again, then it says we need to do a compliance test. Empty sections will be inserted. The fin distance of this preheater must be at least 4 millimeters, and Systemair will change that setting. So okay, let's go. So now it adds an empty section because we need to inspect this coil from both sides. We can inspect it through the filter section, but we need to insert an empty section before because we cannot inspect through this damper section. And if we check the data of the preheater, we can see that the fit distance is changed to 4 millimeters. So that was one requirement. If I have more than one filter stage, let's add a second back filter. Yep, like that. So now we have a stage 1 and a stage 2 filter. I can also have a pre-filter, but that is not regarded as a stage 1 filter in SystemairCAD. So if I add a pre-filter like that, then it will say this is one stage and this is second stage. So if I run the compliance test, then it says warning, fan must be between the two filter stages. Okay, so I have to remove or move one of the filter stages to the other side of the fan. So a good position might be after the heating coil, but before the cooling coil. So let's remove that empty section because now we can inspect the coils through the filter. So let's do a compliance test again. Unit is according to VDI 6022. Right. If I, for example, delete the empty section before the heating coil and I try to calculate, then it says you need to do a compliance test, and I say okay. Then I will be returned to the drawing because I need to see the result of what is done. And when I hit calculate again, then it will calculate the unit. Like that. Of course, all drip trays are in stainless steel. If we, for example, go in here in the cooling coil sections, we can see that the tray is stainless steel. I can also add a droplet eliminator for the cooling section, and then we can see that we get a graphical presentation of the cooling coil. The cooling coil is always followed by a inspection section when it's a VDI 6022 unit. But I can double click if I'm not happy about the length of the inspection and change that to, let's say 500, like that. And then it's changed to 500. Okay, if I go into more unit data, then I can see I have the checkbox if it is VDI 6022 certified or not. And of course I can remove my requirement of certification. The unit will not change, and then I can start removing empty sections if I would like to do that. Oh, bit unfortunate combination, so let's remove the inspection in the top airflow as well. And now if I try to calculate, even though it's not according to, then of course I can calculate because VDI 6022 is not required anymore. Like that. Okay, I told you there was more than one road to Rome. So let's create a standard unit again, size 14. Now we can see dampers are placed wrong. They have to be at the fresh air side. The cooling coil is not followed by an inspection. I could even change the fan type. It's a plug fan. Only EC fans are in the certification. So if I go now and say I want a VDI 6022 certified unit, I say OK. Then it changes the fan, it changes the position of the dampers, it inserts the inspection after the cooling coil, but the configuration is not changed for inspection around, for example, heat exchanger. So if I run the compliance test, then again it will say empty sections will be inserted automatically, and it will insert the required inspection sections. Let's calculate the unit and go to print and preview. Let's only look at number 2, full technical specification, preview, and print. So if we look here in the preview, we can see that we actually have a, let's minimize the window a bit so it's easier to see, like that, and adapt this to the view like that. Now you can see that we have a new label here at the front page from SynLab, and that is our certificate with certificate number and so forth, certificate information. And if we look in the printout of the casing, then we can see that we have a couple of lines up here in the top saying this is VDI 6022 certified. The unit is third-party certified by SynLab, certificate number, blah blah, let's say. And we can also see that all materials included are ISO 846 approved. This does not mean that the entire unit is ISO 846 approved, and we cannot use it for hospitals. Hospital is DIN 1946, and that is a whole different ball game. So this is for comfort ventilations. It's only VDI 6022-1 approved. So thank you very much for listening, and I hope this small demonstration video is useful for you. So thank you very much.